So, here we are on the first week of Netflix November. Do we have taglines?
Yeah,
We do.
we have one.
Just one.
Well, there weren't any taglines online that we could find, but there's one on a movie poster.
Yeah, I know. I just asked because I always ask. But
You're
I already
being
have
polite.
I have them for you. And, yeah, they're only something we could find on the poster. IMDb was, like, just scarce.
Not helpful.
No, not helpful.
For once.
That's 2 in a row.
Oh, yeah. Ernest,
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, so ready? Okay. They're going deep undercover.
It's bad prosthetics. There's no way they're undercover.
Skin deep undercover.
Ugh.
And then Sean Wayans and Marlon Wayans are white chicks.
That's just like a summary of the movie.
So you don't need to watch it.
Right?
With 2 men in Cuban face, 2 men in white face, 1 diarrhea toilet scene, 1 act of roofies that actually plays out to conclusion, 3 scenes featuring 1,000 miles. Thank you.
100 miles.
Yep. 1 very sexually overly aggressive Terry Crews, 2 scenes with Cruz's shirt off, and countless poor taste racist jokes in every single race is direction.
Yeah.
With a budget of $37 million, grossing $70 million, so a financial success for the show here, with an IMDb rating of 5.5 out of 10, a Metascore of 41 out of 100, and a Rotten Tomatoes rating of 15% rotten.
Blech.
It's 2004's White Chicks. Let's drop some bombs.
Hey, yo, hold it! Hey, yo, you trying to look at my lumps? I'll pull off my G-string and handle mine.
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
Who's your daddy? Oh, God, I'm your daddy. I'm your daddy. I'm your daddy. Ah!
It's nice having her on board. She's a breath of fresh ass.
Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
Bring it out on March 25th, and we'll call it Christmas 2!
Welcome to Bombs Away, the only podcast recorded inside a projection booth. I'm Jonathan Young. I forgot who I was. And joining me in the studio, as always, is...
Jarrett Seifert, and I just really am so mad that you all picked this as your first Netflix November.
Yeah. No, this... this movie... Oh, on countless levels. It's just, like... It's cringeworthy to me. Like,
Yeah.
God.
It's, okay, so someone was like, I was like, oh, it's a bad movie. And they were like, it's got a lot of great one-liners. And I was like, how does that make up
Does
for it
it?
being a bad movie?
Like, great one-liners, like what? Hasta luego, Schwarzenegro?
Yeah, well, that's a bit of a racist one, too.
Yeah.
We have a lot of racist one-liners.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, so this movie, I think I've seen about twice.
Okay.
Once watching it for this.
Another movie I had not seen before this show. Like I've seen the trailers, and people would talk about it and people would quote it sometimes, and I just, even from the quotes and everything else, I was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm good. Right? This isn't that level of we've talked about Scary Movie before.
Yeah.
We've talked about Scary Movie 2 before, specifically.
Yeah.
And I think we're both in agreement. We love those movies.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's because those movies take material that's already been done and they like make it fun and like insert jokes. And this is like they took racial stereotypes and tried to apply a story to it, and they wanted it to be more than just making fun of things. They wanted it to have like a thought process, but even that is lacking.
It's like they took what was like not well, what would not be acceptable now, but acceptable maybe like the 80s.
Yeah.
That type of like 80s body switch type comedy movie. And then just,
Like Freaky Friday.
yeah, did it to the extreme, to the racist extreme. There's some scenes, usually involving just the girls being girls, which are the genuinely like endearing moments of an otherwise just like, oh Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
like stop, just stop the movie, kind of thing. And we never asked when we did the voting poll why you're choosing this movie.
That
I
would be a
guess
good, nice, like,
I'd like to
explain to
know
us your thought process.
why this was number one. How? I think everybody, maybe they acknowledge that they know that this is what we're saying
Well,
it is.
a lot of people have, like, this nostalgia for it. Like, and I think it's just the people that were just barely younger than me. Because this
Which is...
Well, so, okay. This movie came out in 2004, so at
Sure.
that time I was, like, 13.
Okay.
And so I never really watched a lot of movies, and I remember this one just being like, I don't care. So I think this is one of those films that whenever people eventually got a little bit older and they could understand a lot of the jokes, they watched and were like, huh. Like, for me, it was not
Jared, I
another
feel like
teen
a
movie.
5-year-old can understand most of these jokes.
I know. But, like, for me, not another teen movie. It was like, oh, I'm not allowed to watch it because I'm not old enough. But then once I got
like
old
that
enough...
one.
Yeah, I know. But that's the
I think
thing.
it's the last one of the like parody type, like attacking something
Yeah.
that you know and love that was decent.
You didn't like superhero movie?
Oh,
I'm kidding. I never
you didn't
even
like
saw it.
date movie or epic movie?
Date movie?
Date movies. I
I love to hate it, and I hate to. I did too. I did too. I was like, it'll be good.
But
And
that's
I was like,
that's where I was like, oh, we've jumped the shark.
yeah.
Yeah, that movie was and what was it?
Scary Movie 4 was not great.
No,
Except I do love.
I don't like 3 either. Though.
This is some shit up with We Will Not Put. Which is making fun of The Village, which is coming up next week.
Yep. So this movie opens up with a New York
Bodega.
Dagobah.
Dagobah.
A Dagobah. The planet of swamp. Seagulls, stop it now. I like how like majority of people were probably like, ha, yes, they did lip sync. Like that's how crazy like things have gotten now.
Yeah.
Like to that like viral status that we can do references like that.
I love that song.
And people could probably get that more than probably remembering any of these moments in this movie.
True.
But so we're it's a New York bodega.
You got it.
And an ice cream truck is pulled up, and out comes like some big, bulky Russian type, ice cream men.
Yeah, and this is usually kind of the stuff, like the setup for something that I would watch alone. Like, what are these ice cream delivery men gonna give me?
We brought the cream.
I'd be like, how do I get it? Yeah, they come in and they're
Next
like,
on Cream of the Kremlin.
that's not how gay porn works.
Oh, no?
Oh, no. They're not like, next on this
Doesn't have commercials.
penetration pack. It's a value pack of gay porn.
Penetration
God,
pack.
someone's gonna steal that. Yes. So the Russian dudes come in and they're like, we have ice cream delivery, and then the Wayans brothers are like in Cuban makeup, dress with like fake hair glued everywhere,
Okay,
and it's
so
obviously fake. And I think
am under the understanding, right, by looking at this costume and then their white chick's costume, right, that they are the opposite of masters of disguise.
Yeah.
They are the masters of racial stereotypes to the extreme.
Yeah.
Right? Which is really funny for a movie. Like, it's one of those things where I feel like a movie like this could set an entire race back because they do what they're asking other people not to do.
But see, I think this is like just one of those.
But somehow it didn't. I'm just saying, like,
well, yeah,
because
I
it
think
could be in danger of that.
during the time, and also just because of who it is, it's like, oh, it's the Wayans Brothers. It's done out of comedy. It's a comedy film. But it was also, I think, it has been brought up that it's a little bit racist in spots. But I think it's just one of those things where people like to ignore it because
but it's like
a
racist
classic.
to everyone. So it's
Yeah.
like they were like, okay, as long as we're not just racist to white people,
In a little
we're
bit,
okay.
Yeah, a little. It was like
It's racist to Cubans,
it's,
right here.
It's racist to black people.
It's racist
Like,
to Mexicans.
yeah.
It's racist to white people. It's racist to everybody. Yeah. It's black people being racist to black people even by the end of the movie.
So yeah, they're in terrible Cuban makeup, which it's like Cubans are just like hairy, balding, and smoke cigar and
Right.
make a lot of loud music,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like that's how it plays out.
And speak to people in song lyrics.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
Ba-ba-la-la-la-bamba.
Right.
Right?
It's like
Right?
they put more research into their disguise than into their like
Into their
who they
investigation?
are. Yeah, that too, because they
okay, they are the worst FBI detectives
Oh,
I have
yeah.
ever seen. Throughout this whole movie,
they're terrible.
the worst.
So they think that they are buying drugs or something on this storefront. And they're like,
Which
we
are-
got the Russians.
Which would be in the ice cream containers.
Yeah, so they like have this fight with these Russian dudes, and then they open up the ice cream, and it's like a bunch of pure white vanilla, and it's like,
But
what?
he
sticks his finger
he
in
sticks
it and
his
eats a
finger
big glob.
directly in. Like, if this was actually cocaine, you're high as fuck
Also,
right
like-
now.
That's not. When has cocaine ever been like a cold, goopy texture?
Well, it comes in different shapes and sizes
Right.
nowadays.
Oh,
like, it's not just the 80s anymore. You can just like digest it really well. You don't have to rub it on your gums. You just let it melt in your mouth and
Mix it with some like Nesquik. I don't know.
yeah,
Make it a good
let me get a
experience.
bump. Let me get a bump. just right in an ice cream scoop. Yeah.
Sprinkle it on food.
Like, did he need to dip his finger in it and taste it to know that was
I
not
really
cocaine?
don't like. You could look at it and
I
be
mean,
like, that ain't coke.
I could see if it was like there's plastic baggies in the bottom of the ice cream.
Yeah.
Like that would make sense. But that's not what's going on
No,
here.
not at all.
Right?
So then, as they're like doing this, another Russian group comes in and they're like, "We have ice cream delivery," and it's like they somehow spoke with air quotes around the word ice cream, and they're like, "Oh shit, those are our guys." And then there's a shootout.
Well, also, so when they're dressed as Cubans, right? They seem to have like hair prosthetics, mustaches, like chest hair, everything, right?
Yeah.
But when it's time to reveal themselves, which I don't know why you're like, it's time to take the mask off, like
Yeah.
surprise, like just be in the makeup and be like FBI and show your like, why do
Yeah.
you have to like
Surprise
do this
them.
mask reveal like it's a reality show?
And then it's also
Right?
like
And then how do you rip off that mask like that? Like
always do that. They like do a takeaway and then come back to them with like the mask half off.
Yeah.
So you can't tell that like they actually had to take more steps than just like pulling on it.
Right.
I was like, oh God. And
Right.
as they're taking it off, you're like, that's 100% not what you were just wearing. Bad, terrible, bad effects.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like-
Because what they looks like you spray painted yourself,
Yeah.
That you airbrushed yourself, the right skin tone that you wanted, a extremely racist skin tone, and then you applied the hair and the bald cap and
Yeah.
things like that, right? Because they look like it's like I can tell that it is Sean and Marlon
Yeah.
Wayans here,
It's
right?
not a good disguise.
Right. It's not a full face mask like the white chicks one is.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know where they thought that it's believable that you could rip it off and just be like, surprise, it's us.
Yeah.
Right? Meanwhile, I don't know what a reveal of them would do for the bad guys anyway.
If anything, it would be worse for them to take that stuff off.
It's just
then, like,
confusing.
they're like the people they capture could be like, you're looking for these two dudes, and it exposes them as agents.
Yeah.
So it's like, leave it on.
Yeah.
Play.
So, yeah, they have a battle with the real Russians, like a shootout.
Yeah.
And then both fake, actual ice cream Russians and the drug dealers both hop in their respective ice cream trucks and drive in two different directions, which force them to be like, I don't know which one to follow. And it's like, well, there are two of you. You could just chase both of them down, but they're like, we let them get away. Right? And then that's it. Like, their captain comes by and is like, you guys are the worst.
You're on
right?
Your last leg.
Captain is literally, in this movie, the only person who has his shit together.
Yeah. Real.
like the only, and probably the most accurate captain that I've ever seen in a like police movie.
Except he also doesn't realize them whenever they're in their girl makeup.
Yeah, I don't really get that one either. That's the only time you have to spend a little believability, because other than that, like, he takes action. He actually does fire them in this movie.
Yeah.
Which usually in movies it's like, I'm taking your badge, right? But taking your badge doesn't mean you're fired in all these action movies, right? It's like taking your gun and your badge, and you know what that means. You're going to have to do this on your own. Yeah, right? So then we are introduced to Kevin, who is Sean Wayans, his wife, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
No, Marcus. Marcus has the wife.
No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry. So Marlon Wayans has the wife. And she is extremely untrusting and overbearing.
And that's like signs of so like, if you're in a relationship and someone's like, I think you're cheating on me, why are you cheating on me, and very accusatory, that's usually signs that the other person is cheating on you.
Right.
Like the person doing the accusing, especially if it's just kind of like he's doing his job. But that's like throughout the whole movie. It's like, just tell your wife you're working, because that is exactly what you're doing.
Okay. So I have a friend, and he works for the FBI, and I can't mention his name, but call me on this
Beat
one.
me.
Yeah, right? And I will repeat what you tell me on the phone is like, when you're undercover, friend, do you tell your wife, like, that you're either going undercover or, like, look, don't call me today or something like that, right? Like, confirm this for me, and I'll repeat it on, like, December's Shorties. I'll be like, hey, this just in. This is what actual FBI people do.
Yeah.
Because, like, I just don't think that he would keep his wife in the dark that much.
Yeah.
To the point where she thinks he's cheating on her at every step.
Like, he's gone for a weekend. Calm down.
I mean, this isn't Arnold. This isn't Arnold and Jamie Lee Curtis in True Lies.
Yeah.
Where she thinks he's like a book salesman or something.
Right.
Like, she knows he's an FBI agent.
Yeah.
So it's completely believable that he might not be able to answer his phone.
Yeah.
Especially if they're in the Master of Disguise department of the FBI, which curious if that's also a thing. Like, yeah,
that movie, yeah, it's a real movie.
No, Master of Disguise, Turtle.
I never saw that movie.
Oh, it's horrible.
Well,
yeah,
future
we'll do
episode.
it. Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah. So then we flash to.
Well, it's established in this scene that she, she's untrusting, but also that, like, he is way more invested in work than he is his marriage, and he can't even stay awake.
He's had a long day at work. He got shot at. That's got to take a lot of energy out of you.
But he might also have narcolepsy because he like falls
asleep
like sleep like 4 times in this scene.
Well, it's a really long day for him.
Right.
Maybe he started at like 4 a.m.
Right.
And it's 8 p.m.
So that is that scene.
Yeah.
Like, but it does establish that and her. Who, yeah. So
we flash over to the bureau and we meet 2 agents.
Oh yes. So this is one of the guys is from Scary Movie 1. So they brought back his name is I totally forgot. I I had it written down. It's yeah. I have it. So Lachlan Monroe.
I hate that name.
Yeah, I didn't
It's like,
expect
I want
that
to be original.
I didn't expect that to be his name. Like,
I feel like it's just a stage name.
So Lachlan Monroe is from Scary Movie 1. And he's also, do you remember a movie in the 90s, Dead Man on Campus?
Yeah.
They basically
That movie is so dumb.
Oh, I love this movie though, because it's very much set in late 90s, right? Like from the fashion to like the premise alone is like two guys party their way through college and then realize that they're going to get kicked out of college because they're going to fail unless they find that the college itself has a loophole where it's like if your roommate commits suicide, they immediately give you straight A's for the semester so that you don't do the same, because the college has a major history of like a huge record of suicide. Yeah, right. So they were like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and
maybe lighten the course load.
Right. So through the whole movie, they're trying to find the most suicidal roommates they possibly can and try to convince them to off themselves so that they can.
That's so terrible.
Yeah, it's a very dark comedy, but he is the insane one, the one that's like, oh, he'll take risks on his own. We don't even need to convince him.
Yeah,
you know, he'll jump off a balcony just for because he's like the frat boy, the crazy frat boy, right? Probably his funniest role, honestly, because it's just insane. This is a very low key version of Monroe.
Yeah,
right. But also a very like chauvinistic, douchey version, right? Because like his bit with his so his character's name Agent Jake Harper, right? And he is joined by actor Eddie Velez as Agent Vincent Gomez, right? And they are like the opposing FBI agents that are always making fun of our heroes in those kind of movies. That's a trope, right? And they usually are cracking jokes at them that even the audience is like, that's not funny. Like, the heroes are like, you're not funny. The audience is like, you're not funny. And so they're literally there for, I don't know, to one-up our heroes at all times and stuff like that. So, but they come off as, they got the worst bits in the whole movie.
Yeah. It's constant of, like, would you rathers, like,
oh my god. And these would you rathers are extremely insulting to the poor people that they're attacking, right? Because it's like there's a level of like what line do you cross, even when we're talking about real people that could actually watch your movie, right? And this is where you're going with it. Like, I was like, that's harsh, right? So there's 3 would you rathers in this movie, right? The first one is who would you rather sleep with, Rosie O'Donnell or Janet Reno? Which, do you know who Janet Reno is?
No.
Janet Reno was like
secretary or something?
Yeah, Secretary of State, I think, in the Bush administration, maybe, or maybe Clinton. I don't even know. Like,
she's got a city.
Older woman. Very, like, strong, powerful, mannish. And Will Ferrell used to portray her on Saturday Night Live. So that can give you a kind of idea of...
a basis.
Right? And then you have Rosie O'Donnell, right? And so it's like you're pitting this older, mannish woman with this...
Butch lesbian,
and they really attack... They kind of attack the, like... overweight portion of her, because like even in this debate he's like, why'd you choose her? And it's like, because, you know, like, she's a bigger girl. And I'm like, Jesus, this movie is like, so that's harsh for no reason. It's like, did you have a vendetta against her?
It's not kind,
right? And then later in the movie it's who would you rather Pam Anderson or Carmen Electra, right? But they have a yeast infection. And that's really harsh because, for those who don't know their history, Pam Anderson has hepatitis C in real life.
Yeah. By
Tommy Lee. So that's really personal.
Yeah.
You know? Why? It's not funny.
Yeah.
it's just douchey. Like, and these bits go on for like a good minute or two.
Yeah.
You know? And then your last one they do is, who would you rather, RuPaul or Whoopi Goldberg? And you're just like, that's really harsh too.
Cause
for Whoopi.
Well, I mean, it's also just kind of just like, what's so bad about, like, obviously it's just like that whole thing of,
well, that's the thing. No one's safe in this movie.
Yeah. It's just like you could make arguments of like, it's kind of rude towards either person because it's like, oh, are you saying Whoopi looks like a man in drag? Or are you saying like RuPaul is like less of, or like womanly enough? Like it just gets in on weird ground to where it's like, why would you even go there?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, these guys are dicks.
Right. So what is the like underlining assignment here?
Where?
Basically,
to watch bad movies and rip on them?
Yeah, right? Because we've lost focus. No, I meant like, okay, so there's these two rich girls.
Oh, so there's someone kidnapping rich children, I guess.
Okay.
Or planning to,
Mm-hmm.
or has been. I don't really know what the thing is. And they're like, we got to protect these girls at all costs. They're going to be at this hotel for this weekend, and we just need to make sure they don't get kidnapped. Now, who's going to pick them up at the airport? And it's like, well,
nobody wants to do it.
Yeah, but it's also like, you don't even know that, like, there's no service of picking them up yet. You don't have this established. Like, they get there that afternoon. So then the Kevin and Marcus, they're like, we got to establish ourselves. We got to show the boss that, like, we can do this. And they, like, bust in the meeting, and they're like, we want in on this case. And he's like, cool, go pick these girls up. Right? So then they go to the airport to pick up the girls.
Right.
And right off the bat, the girls are also a little bit racist. They're like, we already gave money to, like, the starving kids. And
What was it, like Starving Africa Kids or something? Yeah.
And then they're like,
You're
no, we're not
Jesus.
here to collect your money. And they're like, oh, good, you're here to carry our bags. Take this. And it's like, all right, cool. Just assuming everyone's job.
Yeah.
And then we get the car scene.
Yes. So the dog, the little Pomeranian that the girls are carrying around, is dedicated to the front seat, while Marcus has to sit in the back trunk of the SUV with the luggage. Right? So while they're driving, the dog decides to hop up on the dashboard. And which causes him to swerve the vehicle to the point where it slides off the dashboard and out the window, and he grabs it by its leash, right?
Yeah.
Now, if this happened to you in real life, what is your first instinct? What are you going to do as the driver?
Probably, like, slow the car down.
Or stop it altogether?
Get off to the side.
Right?
Instead, he's like,
these hijinks, like, right?
what's going to happen? It's like,
Tractor trailer,
Yeah.
always.
And then there's always that moment where it's like, how come whenever tractor trailers are, like, driving towards you, they, for some reason, like, get over into the exact middle of the road?
Right.
To where it's like, why would you do that? Just stay in your lane. Like,
As a tractor trailer, the rules of the road are you drive on the road, but as soon as you see somebody in peril or danger, you move over to the center lane, you blast your horn instead of stopping, and then at the last minute, make sure you sound it enough so that the Doppler effect happens as you pass by.
my favorite. I love that sound.
That is the rules of the road.
So then he pulls the car in, but then like drives into a
smashes
ditch.
into a dish, but not enough to to actually trigger the airbags. In my
Yeah,
opinion,
it's just kind of like, it's not like the front of the vehicle hit anything. It's
Not
just like,
at all.
whoa, we landed in a ditch. That was spooky.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Better get those airbags checked because.
but the airbags then
They're
just
a little touchy.
blew off. So then the guys are fine. In the back seat, we have Marcus, and his face is like comically pressed against the glass, and it's like, ooh,
Which
and he slides
it also
down it.
wouldn't be because when
He flew forward.
you would fly forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you wouldn't fly backwards.
Yeah.
But so then we have both of the girls, and one of them has a cut on their nose, and one has a cut on the lip, and they're like,
yeah, just little blemishes.
yeah, they're like, oh my god, we cannot be seen this weekend with these ugly scars on our face.
That's
like,
accurate impression.
and
That's really
freak
good. I'm really
out.
really proud of you.
Thank you. So then,
You should be a white chick.
I technically am. Just kidding, I'm not. Yes, but so then they're like, we refuse to leave this hotel for the entire weekend. And
Which I'd be like, all right, cool.
Yeah,
So
you won't
you're
get
safe.
kidnapped. Yeah.
And yeah, no kidnapping.
but
But are they trying to catch the kidnapper?
yes.
So they need bait.
Yeah.
Which is
So-
such a weird thing.
Well, Kevin and Marcus, I think it's Kevin. Kevin gets this idea to go undercover as the girls to figure out this whole scenario. And their first idea is
The worst idea.
call my makeup team.
Call Ben Folds,
Yeah.
and he will come by and do an entire montage of like making you into Mrs. Doubtfire.
But okay, so then
I really wish it was the same character. It's actually Harvey Feinstein coming back, being like, "Oh my god,
that'd be so good.
honey, I'm so happy." He's right. Make the boobs bigger.
Well, there's that boob scene
Yeah.
where it's like Marcus completely forgot what he was getting himself into.
Right? Oh my god, boobs.
And he freaks out and runs out of the chair. I'm like, so did you think you wouldn't have boobs as this? But then the other weird thing is like these prosthetics that they get put on them aren't even used. Like the chest plate prosthetic that freaks him out.
Yeah.
It's just they just are painted and boobed up later,
Yeah.
like fake boobs. It's not
And
like
then the boobs are just in a like clear jar on their fireplace mantle. Like
jiggling. It's kind of funny. I want to.
they're the worst.
Yeah. Worst chicken cutlets. So, but then we flash over. The girls are arriving. They're getting out of their limo, going to the
girls?
hotel.
You mean them?
Yeah. Well, Marcus. Well, from now on, it's the guy girls.
This is their
Marcus
reveal.
and Kevin. Yeah.
They look hideous.
Yeah. They do not look like women.
They look like unfinished Disney animatronics.
They do.
They
Their eyes look so fake.
Oh my god, they look like Jason Voorhees' sisters. they are just like they look like special people.
Oh, special people.
Yeah.
Right?
They look unfinished. They look like somebody who actually did have a lot of plastic surgery and it was botched.
Yeah.
Right? Now, when they did the actual like makeup, they did facial scans of the girls. But like I feel like they didn't facial scan the actual girls, they facial scanned like pictures of them.
Like pictures that they had like found on their MySpace, because this is 2014.
Yeah.
Let's be real, it was MySpace at that time.
And because we have established what the girls actually look like, because we've actually seen the actresses, right?
Yeah.
Why do they both look almost undistinguishable? They look
Yeah.
identical.
They
And these girls were not twins.
were just sisters.
Yeah. And they look identical, like the makeup for them, right? Looks identical. But these girls were not, right? And so this entire movie is based off of a premise that somehow everybody recognizes them,
Yeah.
even though their build is extremely massive now.
Yeah.
They look like volleyball players, softball players. They look like black people in white makeup.
They do.
Like they just
black men in
look
white makeup,
like
yeah.
nothing like it, and yet the entire. I don't know if it's just for the joke or I don't understand why they didn't try a little harder with the prosthetics for this movie, or that was. I'd like to know. Was that part of the joke of just being like, everybody's suspending believability? It's so ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Or they were like, this is the best we got.
Right.
Like,
This is
I
what we could do.
can't tell.
We were on a budget.
Right? So, yeah, they look horrible. And they're immediately getting, what 2017 is dealing with on a daily basis at this point. Like they're just getting harassed, like immediately stepping out of the limo.
They're like their reaction is that they like one of them forgets that he's a girl and is just like talking in his normal voice and like reacting strongly to being checked out by a guy. And this is why gay people are afraid to ever hit on anyone in public. Because it's like, we don't know if you're actually gay, and their response could be that you beat me up or kill me.
Yeah.
Great, cool, fun living like that. And then the other one's like, hey, dude, you forgot that you're a girl. Like, tone it down. And then he gets checked out, and then he starts reacting the same way.
Yo, hold my purse!
Like, yeah. It's like, what, you just didn't take your own advice. Great job there. Which,
the way they talk and they act in the scene, it probably would have been funnier for, like, then the dude that was hitting on him be like, oh, shit, I just hit on a man.
Right.
You know? But no, it's not addressed. It's more of like, that was a manly woman.
She was a really angry guy.
Yeah, right? So they go in, and...
Well, they run into the Agent Vincent Gomez.
Right. And he has picked, as an undercover job, to be the bellman.
Yes.
Of the hotel, right? So they're like, here you go, Jose, hold my bag. You know, they're being extremely racist to him.
Because I think in their mind they were like, oh, we can be a dick back to him
we
because
can
he
pick
doesn't
on
know
him.
It's us,
right.
And we know that they have to treat us like good because we're about to be kidnapped, potentially.
Right. But this is another unapologetic racial dig, like, to another race, right? And so they give him the bag, and they're like, he pooped in the bag, the dog, and clean it up, and, you know, they're shitting on him. So then they go in, and then the other agent, Jake Harper, has picked the job of being the front desk man, which you basically, both of them, whose job is to be the bodyguards of the girls once they get to the hotel.
Or at least just supervise.
Right. Have picked jobs that are extremely restrictive to them being able to supervise them for the rest of the weekend because they're stuck at the front.
Yeah.
Why would you choose this?
It doesn't make sense, and I understand the whole, like, oh, we want to make sure that they first get in and established.
Right.
But then if you only have two people doing that, then, you know, maybe don't stick them like that.
Right.
They could have picked better roles.
How about the roles that they then switch themselves to later on in the movie, which is hotel security? Yeah. Why not just be hotel security immediately?
Right off the bat, yeah.
Right? That means you can, like, do a concealed carry and be fine.
Yeah. Not well thought.
This movie makes no sense. From start to finish, nobody makes proper... This is the worst department in the history of the FBI.
Yeah.
Like, this is the only justifiable department that I'd be like, if Trump fired them, I'd be okay with it.
Like, all right.
They're the worst.
So,
like, very special people. Like, we've got the best masters of disguise.
They apply my spray tan. They really do, I think.
They give me the best wigs.
Oh, so then they get checked in, they start to go back to their hotel room, but they run into their friends that they haven't seen in a year. And they're like, "Oh, it's
the girl's friends, not the actual agents in disguise."
Yes.
Like, yeah. So okay, when we say the girls, it's the Wilson sisters. That's their names.
Yeah.
Okay? So
but Kevin and Marcus as the girls run into the Wilson sisters' friends.
So, yes, it's the Wilson sisters' friends. And they're like, my God, we haven't seen you. And did you get some work done? The only, like, kind of, like, hint that that somebody recognizes that a little bit's off. Instead of, like, oh, my God, you're a beast man now.
They're like, oh, you got collagen. And he's like, you know it.
Yeah.
And... There's a whole thing about, like, not knowing the girls, and they're like, what? And he's like, oh, you had a birthday, didn't you? And they're like, yeah, that's it. And it's, like, playing off that trope of, like, dumb rich girls.
So this is, we're introduced to the three girls. One is Busy Phillips.
Yep.
Her name is Karen. And then there's... one that I forget.
Jessica Caulfield?
Is that it?
Yeah. Tori?
Yeah, that's it. And then Jennifer Carpenter from
Lisa.
Dexter.
Yeah.
Yes, she was Deb on Dexter. Now, she's my favorite of the three girls. because
of her freak out scene.
yes, I love that.
I like Busy
You want a
Phillips just
fat fatty?
I just like looking at Busy Phillips because she always looks confused. And I'm like, me too. I don't know what's ever going on.
Yeah, that is her. Just open mouth.
Yeah. So then Kevin and Marcus are like, we got to go back to our room and freshen up. And they're like, nope, you got to go to this welcome party.
Right.
Because for some reason, the friend Tori, she's like the PR person for the girls. Because their whole weekend, they're like, we want to get on.
They want to get in
Where
the
are they
newspaper
staying?
or something.
No, where are
Huh?
they staying?
Where are they staying? It's like Southampton, right?
Yeah, the Hampton. They want to get on like the Hampton newspaper.
Sure.
Or the magazine. They want to be on the cover because like the most popular girls get on the cover. It's like, all right, sure.
But isn't that just a local magazine?
Yeah, right. It's like, well, if it's rich people, I guess it counts.
Right.
So yeah, they go to this
It's
party.
literally like being in Trump magazine.
Yeah. They go to this party and they start to mingle and they run into like the
two
the
other
bad girls,
sisters,
essentially.
the Vandergeld sisters.
Yeah.
Which is played by Brittany Daniel, who it was in Club Dread. Mm-hmm. Right? Love that movie. Like, it's
Is she
great...
the one from Survivor?
Survivor,
Yeah.
yes. And then Jamie King, which I don't want to really poke fun at somebody's, like, you know, actual, like, the actresses, but, like, she looks severely malnourished in
Yeah.
this movie. Like, there's a stage scene later on where she's up on stage and, like... I don't know, you turn and then she's just not there.
She disappears.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, the poor girl. Like,
Yeah.
it looks a little sickly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh, no.
Oh,
right?
please get better.
Yeah.
So they have this like back and forth of like your mama jokes and like being mean to each other.
You mean... So, when you do your mama jokes,
Yeah.
are you a fan of Carrot Top?
Nope. Oddly enough, like
'Cause
that's not the first time
apparently-
Carrot Top has come up recently in my life. I was
But
like, oh shit.
apparently they are.
Yeah.
Because they do the joke, your mama's so old that when she breastfeeds, what is it?
When she breastfeeds, the milk comes out like this.
Yeah, right? And then baby powder? He just had baby powder on him?
Or a lot of cocaine.
Oh, yeah. from the
the
drug
ice
bust.
cream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from the ice cream.
So there was coke in there.
What the hell was that?
I don't know, but he was armed and ready.
Super ready. He was like as if they were back at the hotel room getting ready and being like, "Yo, do you got any baby powder?"
I
pretty
feel like
sure,
I'm gonna have to do a joke.
I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a Yo Mama battle.
But they didn't have any time to do that stuff.
No,
Right?
no. So then, John Hurd shows up.
Yeah.
Judd. Oh, it's amazing.
Oh.
And
It's something.
he is the Vandergeld's father.
Yeah.
Right? And he's basically the host of this whole weekend event.
So he's the host of the whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it kind of like a shoe-in that his daughters would be on the cover because they were like the previous year?
Right?
It's like he's the one that's in charge of all of it.
Yeah,
like,
right.
why would he be like, no, I got to give someone else a chance? No, he's rich, he's obnoxious, he's going to give it to his own kids.
Yeah. So he goes, oh, hey, ladies, hope you're going to show up at the white party. And I was like, the white party?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh.
Oh, we're just going to really drive that one home, huh? So,
Well, Kevin is like, oh, shit, that's a hot reporter from
Yes.
ABC 7, I don't know, 2, 7, whatever number
Yeah.
it was. And he goes over and starts chatting with her like he's going to do something
so
about
why does
it.
this always happen in these, like,
Yeah.
disguise movies or something? Where it's like the person in disguise, like, has a romantic interest in somebody. And then instead of, like, I don't know, getting out of costume
And being yourself.
yeah, puts up this elaborate ruse where they like hang out with that person in costume and establish a relationship via that character.
Well, the character Kevin takes it even one step
Well, yeah.
further.
Yeah,
But
great.
we'll get there at the beach scene.
Yes, But like, yeah, so yeah, he does take it one step further, but also has rapport with her as this character too, right? So basically it's this big trope in these like disguised identity movies where that person is going to have to reveal themselves to not be that person.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but who cares? Like, why would you do this in this moment?
Too much work instead of just being honest.
Yes.
Christ.
Like this whole movie.
Yeah.
Way too much overboard in work that you've established characters and what you have to remember about what you said to that person in that character.
Yeah.
Like, and is it going to get mixed up, or are you going to remember that I said that in that character instead of that? And it all makes room for shitty comedy.
Yeah. Failure, shitty comedy.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
So that's happening there. At the same time,
Marcus is eating quiche?
yes.
Yeah.
So Marcus has established himself as being lactose intolerant, right? Yeah. So, which only applies in this scene only. It's not. It's not a plot device for later. It's not like he's going to be like, "Yo, give me some more quiche so I can like shit on the bad guys or something."
Yeah.
Like it's there for
This one
a
bit.
diarrhea joke.
Yeah. So, eats a lot of quiche, and then he's like, "These are great. What are they?" And they're like, "Quiche." And he's like, "They taste like they have cheese." And they're like, "Well, yeah, Dad's got cheese." And he's like, "Uh-oh." He's like, "I got to go to the bathroom." And then they're playing on the girls going to the bathroom in groups jokes. And they're like, "Oh, we'll go with you." And he's like, no thanks. And they're like, "We always go together."
So how aware of you are you of your diet? Because I know you have some dietary.
I can't do gluten or dairy. I haven't done that since 2012, 11.
Either way,
I don't know. It's been 6 or 7.
It's been a while.
It's been 6 years now.
And
you can tell.
I mean, but you also, when you pick up any piece of food, you're questioning it, right?
Yeah. You don't just blindly eat things.
I mean, and you've heard of quiche before.
Yeah.
And what it is.
Well, you can also, you can look at it and be like, well, that doesn't look right.
Right. And you can at least ask the waiter, is this dairy-free? No. He immediately picks it up and starts eating it.
Eats like 20 of them.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And then, gets to the bathroom, and apparently there's an earthquake happening in the bathroom.
I loved this scene because I love over-the-top pooping. And then, of course,
beyond over the top, his knees are in his eye sockets at one point.
Yeah, they are. It's so stupid and so funny. But then also the girls are like, we'll wait outside. Like, they've never... Like, it's playing to that thing of, girls don't poop. Their buttholes are for decoration.
Right.
I want us as a society to be able to recognize that bodily functions are
just bodily functions.
Natural.
Uh-huh.
There's no... One of my friends once, she was like, yeah, my aunt thinks that...
That won't play to an audience, Jarrett.
Right? Well, she was like, my aunt thinks that you shouldn't have to poop because that's your body getting rid of waste that it doesn't need. Mm-hmm. So she's like, you should only be eating things that your body needs, and it shouldn't be creating waste, because if there's waste, then you're ingesting things that it doesn't need. So you shouldn't be pooping. I was like, or just poop. Eat food and poop. Jesus.
We're not talking to your aunt anymore.
Not my aunt, my friend's aunt.
Oh, okay.
It was from high school. Oh, God.
So that happens, and they get back to the party. And then...
Terry Crews.
Yeah, Rapist Crews shows up. So Terry Crews, which I immediately see him, and I go, gee, I wonder if he's A, going to take his shirt off in this movie, B, flex his pecs individually of each other, or C, smile, dance, and mug to the camera. In a car, preferably a convertible, because that's what he does in every movie.
Yeah.
We hit all those bullet points actually, except for the flex packs. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't he doesn't do that one.
So,
but he might as well.
There's a really stupid. So he basically is like, "You're great. You're tasty. I love this. I love white chocolate."
He is such a sexual predator.
Yeah.
In this movie. Aggressively sexual predator.
Yeah. And then, so he's going after Marcus, and Marcus is trying to
which is ironic.
Dodge
from
it.
What happened to him in real life that he told the story of recently.
Yeah.
Somebody grab my ding dong, and
Right.
I almost killed him. Shut up, Terry.
Oh, no, you have to be outspoken about that stuff. Otherwise, people won't believe him. I support him. Anyway, yeah, Marcus is the victim of all of this, and he's like pushing him off, and he as the white girl is saying racist things.
Oh, that too. Yeah. Yeah. So
Like he says, like you said earlier, hasta la vida Schwarzenegger, and then he says like the rest
la
of
vista, Schwarzenegger.
yeah, I don't like the N word.
Yeah.
And
Well-
so, it,
Well, he says Negro.
yeah, well, still that just feels like a racial slur because it kind of is.
Hey, they said in the movie, so it's okay.
Oh my god,
Because they say in the movie it's okay to say the N word. They're giving us permission to say it on the show right now.
it's I don't support that still. I can't even whenever I'm alone, like rapping. Which doesn't happen. But if I'm like singing along to a song that has the N word. When I'm alone rapping, I'm like,
His palms are sweaty, palms spaghetti, his vomit on a sweater already. Just you in a hoodie
Keeps on
somewhere,
forgetting,
just like
keeps
you
on
always
forgetting,
are.
keeps on forgetting.
I keep on forgetting the lyrics to the song. I keep on forgetting. Mom spaghetti,
God, it's so, I love that.
hot,
stupid
warm,
lyric.
and ready.
But yeah, so Marcus is dodging all of these advances. Rapping along. But when I'm alone, okay, like even if I'm alone singing along to a song, like I will avoid the N word. I think it's so bad. I don't do that.
Your name's J Rabbit.
Oh, that's the worst. I've never heard that one. Anyway, back to this racist film.
Yeah.
So yeah, Marcus is dodging all these things, and then Terry Crews is like, you know what they say. After you go black, you'll need a wheelchair the next morning. And then right in this
God.
moment, like a lady in a wheelchair like wheels by and she's like, hi, Latrell.
Last night was great. Yeah.
And then he just grabs her by the back of the wheelchair and is like, get lost, and like throws her away.
Yeah.
And she runs into something. It's a really stupid comic moment.
Right in this moment too, like that's not the only one-liner he throws out. So like,
Yeah.
is it Christmas?
Oh.
All his one-liners before this is like, looks like Christmas came early this year, right? It's like I'm gonna be coming down your chimney tonight. I'm like, what is happening? When did it become? Is that why it's a white party? Like I don't understand why he like threw out all these
Yeah.
like weird pickup lines that are from Christmas.
Maybe that's all he's got.
Right?
I love the holidays.
Right? Snow is white, but I'm black as coal. Like, what? Yeah, it's weird. Right?
Right.
So, he finally gets Terry Crews off his back by spraying him with mace.
Yeah, straight up.
And it just kind of itches him.
Yeah, he's like,
Like,
ow.
So strong. Yeah.
Replace your mace with water.
Right? And then
The group of, like, both Kevin and Marcus get back together with all the girls.
Right.
And they're like, well, I guess we got to go change. Or
yeah,
they're like,
so
we got to get ready
they're
for the
like,
party.
It's shopping day because the girls,
Let's shop.
right? Them as the Wilson sisters don't have any more clothes other
Yeah.
than this, which is also weird.
Well, they do, but they, like, don't have an outfit for the night. They're like,
Oh,
we
okay.
don't know. And they're like, oh, we got to go shopping then.
All right. So they do, and this is where,
Well, this is where we get our car scene.
yeah, one of 3 times that we're going to sing 1,000 Miles in this
I love
movie.
this song.
Right.
So the white girls are singing along, and they're like,
oh my God, this is our song.
Kevin and Marcus, take it away. And they're like, and they're doing like that thing where it's like they're pretending to not know it.
I walk 1,000 miles.
It
I mean,
could
like how
be-
I'm doing
well,
it right
just-
now
oh,
because
yeah.
I don't know it.
They're like pretending, but you can tell that they kind of do because they're like, say a word that would be replaced here if it was a different song or if it was written in an alternate universe.
right.
It's like, and you know,
Everybody
I would,
knows
instead of
this
saying
song,
like I
guys.
would walk, they say drive. I think. Like,
yeah,
it's
you not
just-
knowing this song is about as believable as your makeup.
Yeah. And then they like switch the song to they switch the radio station to a rap song, and
Which is not the song from the trailer.
yeah,
Hey, the song from the trailer is Little John's "Get Low."
yeah, which
right?
I love.
Which
that
would have
song.
been way
Yeah.
better.
But then instead it's some rap song that I've never heard of, and I most likely believe that it's only used because it says the N-word in it.
Yes.
Because they rap the N-word, and all the girls are like, oh my god, you can't say that. And they're like, oh, we can't because there's no one of color around.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the girls are saying the N-word.
Which I did. This was funny to me because I feel like
Racist.
somewhere in there that's very true.
Oh, I can 100% believe that there are sorority
Because
girls out there.
when
that are
I
like,
rap alone,
I'm going to yell at. Oh, God.
I do.
Don't finish that. It's too late. Never mind. Oh, God.
Hey, it's the lyric of the song. I'm not being racist. I'm just singing along.
You rhymed.
So,
I quit.
why do you quit?
I'm so tired. Okay. Yeah, so then they get to the shopping scene. And the shopping scene is actually pretty hilarious. Like, you
Yeah.
get this short scene where it's like the girls are walking up the steps and they're like two, like, 13-year-old
Little
boys, like, looking
yeah.
up and they're like, we get to see up skirts. And then they're like, oh, God. And
Oh,
it's like,
balls.
yeah. Oh, I love it. It's
Yeah,
so dumb.
that's funny.
So then, I believe, yes, Marcus is trying on clothes, and they're bringing him sizes, and he's like, I don't think it's gonna fit. And then, they're like, no, we'll bring you, like, you can suck it in, like, you can get into it.
Yeah.
You'll get in there. Meanwhile, we've got Kevin, who's helping Jennifer Carpenter in their dressing room.
Oh, this is great. This is my favorite scene.
So she's like, how does it look? And he's like, cute.
Yeah.
And then she just snaps and she's like, "Oh, it looks great.
You
Let me
bringing
tell you."
Shamu to the benefit? Is that what you're doing? Oh, splash down.
And meanwhile, Marcus is like, or Kevin is like, "Okay, hold on, I'll go get a different size." Like putting on that fake voice and is like, doesn't know what to do. If the whole movie was just this like instance,
Oh yeah,
I would love it.
I would love if
Just-
the whole movie was just her like mental breakdown.
And just his reaction to it, like, maybe someone else needs to get in here and help you, like freaking out because he doesn't know how to handle it. I thought this was like the scene of the movie.
Oh yeah, it was good.
But
And then so at the same time, wait, so that's Kevin. Because Marcus is the one trying on clothes and
Yeah.
trying to fit into them.
But then-
Meanwhile, his wife is calling him.
Yes.
Right?
And she's like, "Where you at?"
Once again, like, it's that whole, like, there's a woman in the background, like, joke. And it's just like,
Yeah.
fucking tell your wife.
Yeah.
Like, tell her. I don't understand it. Meanwhile, he's trying to get these tight-fitting girls' clothes on, right?
That are clearly sizes too small, but like,
and his, like, I don't know, no other way to say it, his black ass is showing, right?
yeah, it's like a portion of the body that was not painted.
Was not spray painted, right? Which we'll get to that soon. Like in the
Goddamn,
upcoming
I-
slumber party scene,
Yeah.
about like spray paint and like
Yeah.
I don't understand why are we airbrushing things that don't like happen later on in the movie? Like
Yeah.
that was just for like what the trial run. Like I don't get it. So yeah, but Busy Phillips walks in, right?
Yeah, she's trying to help him with the pants,
Right.
like ripping him up, and she's like, "You just gotta suck in,
Yeah.
just suck in."
And then he comes out and he's like, I don't know, just like a crackly old man looking like because he can't.
kind of hunched over and like pulling in all the joints
Yeah.
as much as possible to like not stretch everything.
Mhm. And
Wearing
then-
shoes is too small. Shoes is too small.
So
Them shoes is too small.
okay, describe this. What happens
Oh my God.
next?
So
I just
they're like, "Stand up straight. What are you
Yeah.
doing?" I just love this. This is the only
this
scene I
was
do
good.
love. Like
This
this
was
whole scene of like all of it's hilarious. So Marcus like stands up and is like, and then like the button shoots out of the pants and breaks the mirror. The heels on the shoes,
I
like
mean, like a bullet shattering
Yeah.
through the mirror.
the heels on the shoes like bust out. The jacket rips along the back, and like he
Oh, yeah,
lets out
he
like a
hulks
sigh
it,
of relief.
basically.
He's like, "Ugh," like
It was good. It was really good.
it was so dumb. But then he ends up buying a dress,
Right.
which does come back into play.
So then they attend the benefit.
Well, no, they leave the store.
Thanks.
Well, no, they leave the store and then
the Prada thing.
You
okay.
flash to.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you flash to.
It's forgettable and
It's
not
kind
that
of a
funny,
throwaway
but
scene.
you know,
I liked it a little bit, just because it's like, it just shows like, this whole movie was just like, what scenes can we do to make a movie?
what scenes can we do
Instead of like, what scenes do we need?
No, this movie was what scenes can we do in order to make a trailer?
Yeah, real.
Yeah.
So they walk out of the store. It shows the two agents like just following them just to make sure they don't get
This
kidnapped.
is another one of those who would you rather jokes.
It's the second one.
Mm-hmm.
And then a guy runs by and grabs her purse and he's like, my gun and my badge are in there. Like, the girls are right next to you too. Like, they can hear
Right.
you talking like a man. So he's like, go chase him. So they run after him. The other car drives to like cut him off.
Mm-hmm.
And he like, the agents are like, wow, she's really good at running.
Yeah.
And tackles the bad guy. And the bad guy is like, geez, lady, it's just a purse. But it's also like, that's like IDs and credit cards in there. Yeah,
Right.
anyone would react like that if they knew that they could catch up to you.
If they could catch up to you, they're gonna do
like,
it.
no one's gonna be like, no, it's just a purse. Like, no, there's stuff in there.
Right.
You're not just stealing a purse.
Nobody would say that, but they
Yeah.
need to say that so that he can say the return joke.
And he goes, actually, it's Prada.
Yeah. Stupid.
And then they go to the benefit that
So
night,
stupid.
which the benefit is aptly titled.
Snob. Really? So SNOB stands for the Southampton Nuclear Option Benefit.
Which the H
It's like,
is just silent.
did you need to make an acronym?
Yeah.
Like, and actually put it on no.
It's just like one of those stupid, like, we could put a small joke that's really dumb in the background and people paying attention, like the smart ones will get it. It's like,
Right.
no.
Or roll their eyes
Yeah.
so hard that we hear it years from now. So this is another situation where the girls have been put in a back corner, right?
Yeah,
because
where they're
not...
doing the dishes, which is like, that would never happen.
No, they would
especially
never
like
do
in
the
a
dishes right
fancy
there.
restaurant. They wouldn't be like, we're placing. It's like, no, they literally have like back
No,
rooms.
this was
for
like an
that stuff.
event. It wasn't even a
Yeah.
fancy restaurant. This was an
Oh
event.
no,
They would never
fancy
clear.
hotel.
Well, I mean, but
Yeah.
this is like the
a
ballroom. This is
banquet.
an event.
Yeah.
We know events. Like,
Yeah.
they would never clear the dishes
No.
and put them in, like, basically wash bins on the
Right
back
behind
side of the
you.
room.
Yeah.
You know? At most, they have one of those, like, foldable, like, things, and they put a tray worth of
Yeah,
stuff,
and then they-
collect it, and then
yeah.
send it out. You know? Not the wash basins and
Yeah.
everything directly behind them to the point that the guests are being hit with, like, trays and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that would never happen. I don't know.
So they're like, it seems like they're a good chunk into dinner when the reporter just shows up and she's
Yep.
like, I guess we're all on the bad list. It's like, okay, sure. Right.
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
assuming stuff now.
Yeah. I'm pretty
and-
sure your press, you would have had, like, better seats than that.
So
You know?
Kevin is like, oh shit, I'm sitting next to the reporter I really like. I'm going to talk to her about guys. And she's like,
Right.
I think I need to change it up and start dating rich men.
Mhm.
It's like, that's probably not what you should be looking
Which
for. in a
inspires him to
dude.
do what he'll do in the next scene.
Yeah. Well, two scenes.
Yeah.
So
Um,
meanwhile, they start an auction of dates, like
Yep.
a date auction.
Yep.
So the first one to go is
Jamie King.
Yeah,
And Jamie King is basically convincing her boyfriend,
to
right?
spend a lot of money.
To spend a lot of money. She's like, oh my God, nobody's ever like spent $20,000 on anybody, right? Just to make
That's a
herself
new
seem
record.
important,
Yeah.
right? Somebody, oh my God, somebody spent that much money on me? On me? No way, right?
Yeah.
And then as a joke, she decides to bring up Marcus as the next girl. And so immediately Terry Crews is
just
being
gunning.
an
Well,
aggressive predator
well, no,
again.
as Marcus is going up, he's like, Kevin, save me. So
Yes.
Kevin's doing this thing where he's like stomping on a foot or tickling someone,
Mm-hmm.
or what's the other one that he does?
No, he grabs somebody's ass.
Yeah.
Right?
Which they're like the only so if someone tickles me, like, yeah, maybe I might like shoot my hand up in the air, like, whoa. But then like the other two, it's like stomping on a foot or grabbing their ass. My first reaction isn't gonna be to like raise my hand.
Well,
Like-
I mean, yeah. Like every time my ass grabs, my hand just goes immediately up in the air, and then somebody checks
Like,
on
you
me.
got a question.
It's like, so, can I help you, sir? Yeah, my ass was grabbed. Waiter, my ass was grabbed. Thank you. So yeah, Kevin is doing counter bids to Terry Crews's like bids.
Yeah.
Basically. So it's Terry Crews versus the rest of the room
Yeah.
that Kevin is forcing to do bids, right? And nobody's like even if they're like, oh, I hear 20 from the guy who just raised his hands. Nobody's like, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Which that happens in a lot of comedies, like auction stuff like
Yeah.
that, where like people are like, from the man in that, and like nobody immediately is like, that wasn't me.
Yeah.
Like they just go with
Fight
it.
it? I don't know.
Right?
Jeez.
Yeah, because if somebody's saying that like I just bid $20,000, I'm pretty sure, like especially on some man beast up there,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, that wasn't me at all. You can have him, Terry Crews, or her. I mean,
So, yeah, Terry Crews bids what, 50,000?
50,000, which
Yeah.
upsets Jamie King because it's over the 20,000 that she got, and Terry Crews picks up Marcus and whisks him off stage, takes his prize away.
Yeah. So then we cut to the scene of like the dudes in the hotel room, and they're like, "Oh, finally, like we can take this clothing off."
Right.
And then there's a knock at the door, and they're
It's
like,
all
"Who is
the
it?"
girlfriends.
Yeah, and they're like, "It's your night to host the slumber party," and they're like, "Shit." So they're like throwing on their makeup and stuff, and it's like less than 5 minutes. They went from like fully out of costume to
Right.
fully in costume. So like all of their skin is painted once again.
Yeah.
And it.
Or at least they're up, past
Yeah.
their wrists, because
Yeah.
they're wearing bathrobes and stuff. But yeah, they have the full on face appliance.
Yeah.
Which
Face appliance,
well,
a blender.
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, what else are you gonna say? Like, how are you gonna call it? Like, it is a full on latex.
Yeah. Mask.
Yeah, like that. I know from my own experience, and I've put on like latex scars or whatever
Yeah.
for Halloween.
It doesn't
that
happen
shit doesn't
quick.
dry immediately whatsoever, and then to blend it in with like the rest of your skin, especially when your skin tone is the exact opposite
that
of
would
what
take
you're doing.
Layers.
Yeah. And yet they're like, hold on, just 1 second, hold on, right?
Yeah.
And then there they are, they're ready to go.
Right.
And then we're met with probably like the dumbest part of the movie, like when it comes to jokes. Well, first, no, the one joke is great, the whole Valtrex thing.
That's you. That is
What?
all your
I
joke.
love this joke because it's just it's like they're watching a Valtrex commercial, and one of the Vandergelds is like in the commercial.
Yeah.
And she's like, I won't tell. It'll be our secret. I'm like,
I
that's the
won't tell
exact
if you won't
opposite
tell.
of what you should do when you have herpes.
Yeah.
Like, no commercial.
No.
No commercial would condone that.
Yeah.
Like, she winks at the camera. Like, basically is like, I have, it's not Valtrex. It's Valtrum.
Yeah.
Right? And she's like, I have Valtrex or Valtrum, so I don't need to tell him.
Yeah.
It'll be our secret, like winking to the audience who's watching this commercial. And you're like, no, don't go with her.
Right. And then Lisa.
Stop. Just play volleyball. Don't go with her.
Lisa has her line.
Oh, yes, where she's like, I should have been in that commercial. And I'm like, you, like...
Well, she says, I shouldn't have been, or I should have been in that commercial. She doesn't even have herpes.
Right, and I'm like, you're implying that you actually do? Right? Which is maybe why she's so insane. She
Yeah.
just can't get a man anymore.
Right.
So then we have the unnecessary dildo
Yeah,
scene.
her friend pulls a dildo out and it's like, now it's time to show us your
This
tricks.
is stupid. This is, oh.
Yeah. Which it's like, A, where did the dildo come from? Has it been used? B, how old are you that you don't know tricks?
And C, what is this, like,
What is a
they're
dildo gonna
famous
show you?
for
Yeah.
blowjobs? Like, they're like, you're the one with the video. I'm like, wait, what? Like,
Wow.
is that a dig on Paris Hilton?
Probably.
Yeah, right?
Or Kim
And-
Kardashian.
And so, in a very, I don't know how else to put it other than, like, kind of homophobic way, he does everything but
Yeah.
throat the, like actually suck on the dildo,
Yeah.
right?
Puts it under his chin, smacks the forehead with
So
it.
unnecessary. Like, it would have been funnier
Yeah.
to have him go through with it. To be grossed out as he is with the fact that he's sticking an unknown person's dildo in his mouth.
Yeah.
Right? And actually having to go through with it in order to keep the undercover ruse going. Instead, he makes up all this, like, no, it's like the 2000s now. Like, you
Yeah.
just, like, kind of, like, dick slap it onto your chin. And, like, and meanwhile, his makeup,
is withstanding all of this.
yeah, but at the same time, not. Because his entire neck is all crusty and everything.
It's got
right?
like folds in it.
And then, is it him or is it Sean Wayans that has the whole eyebrow thing?
Oh.
Oh.
That's
The
a good
unibrow?
question. Oh.
Okay, so you brought this up before the episode started. Describe this.
It's this weird, like, it's not a unibrow. It's like a fold in their makeup, and it's like where the nose meets the forehead. It's this odd, like, it happens the entire movie.
Caveman?
Yeah, it's like a layer that, like, fully never connected. And they're like, no one will notice. What wrong?
It's what separates the two brothers.
Yeah.
You're going to tell them apart. This is a part where after this little blowjob scene, there's a knock at the door.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's two men that look like, bad dudes.
Yeah.
And
Bad dudes.
they immediately come in and they, like, grab one of the two. I don't know which one, like, actually answered the door, right? But they grab them and he starts, like, overpowering them. And you're like, this is a strong girl.
Meanwhile, it flashes to, like, a security room and there's cameras on the doors.
This makes no
and
sense.
the two agents run to the room and are like, oh no, they're being attacked. And then it comes to play out that they are just strippers.
So have you ever hired strippers for, like, a bachelor party or anything?
Nope.
No? Yeah.
But I have a general idea that they
mean,
don't physically kidnap you.
That's their bit.
Right?
Like,
terrify you and think you're being killed. And
right?
then show you their dong.
Yeah. That's their bit, apparently.
That's actually what I'm into, so never mind. Yeah, I should hire one.
Yeah, bring it on.
Right?
So, yeah, that's the thing is, like, these were strippers that they hired. But why did they hire strippers? It wasn't a
for like a fun
party
night
or anything. It's
just they just did
random, right?
Yeah.
Like, girls' weekend, strippers included.
Ugh.
So I don't understand this whole camera in the hallway thing.
Yeah, well, so they got this camera in the hallway, but there are definite moments where the Wayans brothers just leave without their makeup on. So it's like they know that.
So
like,
somebody's either not
watching
the camera,
yeah,
or is just, or do they assume that because they were the ones to pick them up? I don't understand.
Yeah, right. Like they'd hang out in the hotel room with them,
right?
Maybe.
Yeah, but then you would think that they would have to check in.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what's your report?
Yeah. So nobody saw them leave as themselves. Like, up until the reveal later on that isn't even here yet.
Right.
Like, I don't understand that. And then random people, all these random people, his wife finally shows up to the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Because that's around this time, somewhere in the movie. His wife gets a phone call.
She's at, like, lunch with her friend.
And her credit card gets denied. And it's because Marcus
bought a $4,000 dress.
Right. Which makes her freak out because, like, she puts two and two together and thinks, like, oh, my God, he bought a dress for another girl, and they're in the Hamptons.
Yeah.
So she's like, girl, let's go. Right?
Right.
And takes her friend to the Hamptons. And then they show up at the hotel room later on.
Yeah.
So now we're...
The next morning
Are we at the beach? We are at the beach. Okay.
So we're at the beach. They're both wearing, like, these long wraps, but at the same time... Marcus starts sunbathing in just the bathing suit, but it's also a really cloudy day at the beach. I was like, oh, this is not a well-lit beach. And Terry Crews is only in just a Speedo.
Yeah.
And standing over...
terrorizing not just Marcus, but us as audience members.
Yeah. So while Terry Crews is doing this... Kevin goes into Terry Crews's beach hut and gets fully out of the makeup and outfit costume.
Somehow he washes that all off.
Yeah. And then puts on Terry Crews's
full suit, watch, everything, jewelry, everything.
So he pretends that he is the basketball player that Terry Crews is.
Why?
Because he's like, oh, if I pretend to be a rich guy, I can talk to this reporter, and then she'll think I am this rich. It's such a stupid setup.
Yeah, because that's my question is, like, what is your plan? Are you romantically interested in her and actually, like, having a future with her? Because if you are, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Day one, you know? Or are you literally just trying to get laid?
Well, he's not trying to get laid because him and Marcus are talking, and they're like, he's like, oh, I like that reporter. And he's like, yeah, you just want to bone. And he's like, no, I think it's really time to settle down and establish myself and be with one person. So if that's the case,
you are establishing it with a gigantic lie that you cannot back up.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
Right.
Especially because you've said that your annual salary is $30,000.
You know, annual salary of an FBI agent, $30,000.
Gonna ask my lifeline to a friend again.
The internet said $65,000.
$65,000?
Yeah.
Okay, curious about how accurate that is as well, but it's
I think that was like the 2014 census or something.
It's not even the end of the fiscal year for me, and I'm almost at 30,000.
Yeah.
Right, and my job is shit.
Yeah.
So,
Kevin is going to have a date with the reporter.
Right. Yes. Because he basically says that he is Terry Crews.
Yes.
Right? He used the same name and everything, which is like, well, she's also a reporter. Like, she might not be into sports reporting, but
she could very much see.
Yeah, like if he is at the, like, you know, all-time three throws or whatever that gets quoted later, like, he seems a bit famous, right?
Yeah.
Like, how could you just, like,
it's such a
he's
stupid
the worst detective
yeah.
of all time. Like, nothing that he does makes any sense to anybody.
Zero.
Like, it benefits nobody. It does not benefit him. It does not benefit, like, the case. It benefits nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay.
So they finish at the beach. They go back to their hotel room to derobe for a bit and then get back into female drag.
Yes.
During this time is whenever his wife shows up.
So, yes.
Marcus's wife shows up.
Right.
And
so Kevin's back in drag.
Yes.
But Marcus has changed out of drag.
Yes.
I don't know why that's the situation because Kevin was the one out.
Yes.
In the previous scene.
Marcus is also Kevin is the one that's going to be out of drag for the date and to pretend to be valet.
Right.
So I don't know why he got in. Yeah, it's weird.
Sometimes you got to practice your makeup skills.
Just practice getting in and out of it so you can do it really fast.
Right?
So
and what we're basically making fun of here is the fact that set up in this way that Kevin's in makeup but Marcus isn't is so that Marcus's wife can walk in on him with a girl.
Yes.
And once again, this is apparently because they can take off their masks so freely in this movie. Like, his wife catches him with Kevin, mm-hmm. and thinks that it's another woman.
Yeah.
Right? In this hotel room with him.
And then instead of saying, like, it's my brother Marcus.
Are they brothers?
Oh. They have the same last name.
Yeah. Kevin and Marcus Copeland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would assume they're brothers.
Never established that they are.
Never in the movie. Nope.
Never say that they're brothers or anything. But here it is on IMDb, and you're right. It was on the credits too.
Yep. So instead of being like, "Hey, this is just Kevin," he goes, "No, you don't understand. It's a dude."
Yeah, which is stupid too.
So it's like you could have easily been like, "Hold on, no, we're undercover," and she would have been like, "Oh,
yeah,
right."
Yeah. Do you need to keep your cover for her?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Right.
Like, be like, baby, it's my brother, and we're undercover. You're gonna blow that cover right now because the camera's out in the hallway. Oh wait, nobody's watching those cameras. Yeah. And just go home, and I'll see you later.
Right. But
right?
she doesn't. She decides to stay to start a fight later.
Yeah, so
I
does
don't
she
really
book a
understand.
hotel room? Because,
Right.
like, another
It's a full
full
day.
happens.
Yeah.
Before the white party.
Right.
Yeah.
So then Terry Crews and Kevin go on their date. So this is whenever we get Terry Crews singing 1,000 miles. Right?
Yep.
I was like 10,000, and I would walk 10,000
This is where
miles.
he's
And
singing
I
and
would
mugging
walk
to the camera.
500 miles is like what he's
Well, that's
singing.
the first song, and then you get to 1,000 miles and you sing this song.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right. Got it.
Yep.
Uh, So Terry Crews is doing his like singing along with it in this weird head shake, which I think is like the funniest movement that he's ever done.
Well, he does it all the time.
Yeah. He's
Every
really
Adam
good in
Sandler
Brooklyn
movie, he
Nine-Nine
does it.
now.
Oh, yeah?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he's hilarious. But in this film, like he's actually a different character in that too.
Okay.
But in this, it's just kind of like his type, his trope.
Sure. That's that,
Yeah.
I'm curious if anybody could write in and let us know, like, what is the first instance of him doing this whole I'm going to like jam out in a car and like basically it's in Adam Sandler movies he just shows up for one thing to just like dance like like not unusual like that's his thing, and it might be this movie, I don't know. Like can't remember. So so he takes him out on a date. Mm-hmm. and Kevin
is like the valet.
The valet.
Yeah.
Once again, your plan is the worst plan.
So
in the
stupid.
history. You are the worst detective. Like, not both of you. Marcus is all right. He just doesn't follow common sense when it comes to telling his wife.
Do anything.
Yeah, right? Kevin is the worst, to the point of breaking the law.
Oh, yeah.
He's stealing this guy's car.
He's breaking into his house. All for this date.
Yeah. And I don't understand, because his plan is once you get to the restaurant, right? You are gonna get out of the car and you are going to have a dinner date with Terry Crews, while I take his car as the valet, steal it, pick up my date, go and then bring her not to a restaurant or anything, but back to my Terry Crews' house. Yeah. Pretend it's Terry Crews, like pretend it's my house, and then like be able to charm her enough to, I don't know, make a move or whatever, all while a dinner is happening.
Yeah.
And then be able to drop her back off.
Yeah.
And get the car back to you before dinner's over?
Yeah. It's not a great plan.
Yes.
Oh, I know how terrible the
all.
plan is.
Like, that's not a plan.
That's a risk.
That's
not
that's
a
all
wise
it
investment.
is risk, right? And then, like, well, he has the keys to the house, I guess, because the keys are on the car. But, like, he also doesn't know what he's going to run into in this house.
Yeah,
which
he
is
runs into a maid.
Part of the comedy of it all.
Dog. And she goes, "Oh, you got a dog?" And he's like, "No, I don't got a dog." And she's like, "Well, what's that?" He's like, "That's not a dog, that's family." And I was like, that's a kind of funny line.
But it's also like,
"It's not a dog, that's family."
Why is he saying out loud every time, like,
yeah,
he's basically throwing himself under the bus constantly, right? Where it's like, where's the wine? She's like, I don't know, it's your house. He's like, because it is my house.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, so it's not your house, and I'm going to go. You know?
So
like,
you're going to kill me.
Right? And this is also where there's a giant picture of Terry Crews on the mantle.
Like, naked in a bear rug.
Yeah, and he's like, that's my trainer, and
like
I use him for inspiration. And I'm like, no, that just makes you weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how stupid this reporter has to be in order to fall for this.
Right.
Right?
But he does get some information out of her about the case.
But it's the whole thing of this movie of, like, what are we as an audience supposed to do? Like, how much believability are we supposed to suspend versus how much we're not? Like, and it literally comes down to what scene we're watching.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Meanwhile, back at the date
please,
land.
you do
Oh,
this part.
Okay. So Terry Crews and
Like, I'm exhausted.
Marcus are on their date, and Marcus is doing everything to seem like the worst person possible. Like, takes his shoe off, bites a toenail, and like rips like a good chunk of it off. Like, whose toenails are that uncut? That is like
Super
a
long.
good, yeah. And then spits it into like a drink that's on a different table, which I was like, oh, good shot. Also really gross.
Yep.
But then he's like, and for the lady, he's like, perhaps Assad, and he's like, perhaps not, and orders like a bunch of like garlic, onions, like bad breath food, but also like messy food, like ribs, and is like throwing food in her mouth. And Terry Crews is like,
Which, I don't know. I've been on dates, and I've never been like, oh my God, she ate garlic. That's going to be horrible later.
I
Like,
know.
I'm just like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
Like, you want to make out with somebody, you make out with somebody. Like, it's not a
if
thing.
anything, it adds flavor.
Yum, yum,
Jeez.
yum.
Ew.
Yum, yum, yum.
So then,
Let me get them ribs.
so Terry Crews is like, you can put it back. I like that. And then
I bet he
unbuttons,
does.
yeah. He like unbuttons his pants and like shows the happy trail, which I was like, yes, women have that, but also like Terry Crews is like into it. Like he's like minorly mannish, which
It's so
I
weird.
think he is
It's
into
like-
it still. Like I think he thought that the girl was trans. Like 100%, because at the end he has his line, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Marcus lets out a fart, like a good juicy one.
Yeah.
And then Terry Crews is like, "Oh, that's amazing. I love a girl that just is free like that," and he's farting too. Then miraculously, there's not some weird run-in based on these wacky plans by Kevin. They all end up okay.
Yeah,
And they're all
like
at the
that all
nightclub.
works out. And it actually shouldn't have, for comedic purposes, it should have gone disastrous, right?
Oh yeah.
And for some reason, see, that's the thing is, like, they will take and attack something and drive it into the ground as a joke that isn't funny, and then miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll miss the stuff where it's like, that's where you should have gone
Yeah.
constantly in this movie. So, yeah,
Because
everybody
I don't
gets
think they
home.
made this movie for the masses. I think they made it for themselves.
You think so?
Yeah. They were like, we think this is funny, so we're going to do it. Me and my brother have a lot of really stupid, funny ideas, but they're stupid and funny to us.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, no one else is going to like them.
Right.
But they are because they're great ideas.
So, meanwhile, while they're all out, the two other agents are like,
this
"Oh,
stupid
something's
thing.
fishy," right? So they go and investigate the room, and
Smells fishy.
this is another, like, it's so creepy because, like, who just goes and smells other people's underwear? Like, why?
Yeah, so the two agents are in there, and the white agent. I don't know.
White agent,
Yeah.
Jake Harper.
Yeah, Jake Harper, like, while the other agent is in the bathroom checking things out, Jake Harper picks up a pair of girls' underwear and starts smelling them, which is like, okay, that's a little odd. Like, you don't even know them. Like,
Right.
if you're into that, maybe it's for someone that, like, you know, but also I have the worst Reggie right now. So if you see me squirming, it's because my underwear is in my butthole.
Sure. Well, we are talking about
I was
underwear.
like, okay, it's fitting. It's time to announce it. And I'm like flopping around in my seat, like, whoa. Yes. So then the other agent comes out and is like, what are you doing? And he's like,
well,
these
he
are
has
dudes.
Yeah, he has the masks in his hand.
Yeah.
Right. Which he
Do they
has
have
two
extra?
masks. They have right. They have extras.
Huh?
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that is the thing we're gonna pick on. Okay.
Right.
But immediately because of that, the assumption is they're dudes.
Yeah, not
it's
like girls dressing up as other girls. It's
right.
like, they are dudes. Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know. It's just the jump to conclusion
Yeah.
is only for the fact of this. I'm smelling a dude's underwear.
Oh, yeah.
It's so stupid.
So then we have our nightclub scene. The girls are there. They're having drinks. Terry Crews has joined them as well.
This is the roofies
Yes.
scene.
Terry Crews goes to the bar, and there's a side character that's like one of the Vandergelt's boys that they know.
Just friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like...
Well, it's the Vandergelt's boyfriend's friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Terry Crews is like, man, I really like her. And he's like, you for sure want to get laid? Give her this. And then the guy's like, I took some too.
What is he looks like Breckenmeyer from like Road Trip.
Yep.
And he's like, you really like her? Then give her this.
Well, he proposes it like give her a roofie, but then he also at the same time is like, I took the roofie
himself?
too. Which I was like, I guess if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Which I get.
He like watched The Hangover and then was like, "That's how you have a good time."
You just forget everything.
I want to steal a tiger tonight.
So, the only time they actually do detective work,
right here with the fizzy martini.
Terry Crews pops the pill in, and the martini's fizzing, and it kind of reminds me of one of those old Kool-Aids that had the little pills that you could just pop in, and it either change the color or make it fizz.
No, that's not a thing. That's just roofies too.
Oh, okay. I was like, roofing kids. Great, got it, love it.
Fizzy lifting drinks.
So, Marcus does actual detective work, notices, and switches the drinks.
Mm-hmm.
So Terry Crews has that.
Downs it immediately.
Yep.
Right.
And then the girls are like, let's dance.
Right.
And
this is where the Vandergelds
have a full choreograph.
This one's believable because they're kind of like cheerleader-esque. So I'm like, they probably remember this from like high school. Right?
Or they were like, let's just come up with one, and since this song is popular right now, we'll be able to do it.
Yep, Crazy in Love. Everybody knows this, right? But the one that's not believable is like basically the girls that are the friends and everything.
Yeah,
they seem to be the B squad of things. I'm like, you guys weren't cheerleaders.
Yeah.
We were flag line.
It would be.
Aw,
poor girls.
Poor flag line. You know who you were.
They dance.
We were marching band.
We can step in patterns. So the girls like they dance back and they're like, we showed them, and then
it's like a back and forth, and then finally the Vandergild side pretty much gets like they get the one up on them. Like they do a really good move, and the crowd's like, oh shit,
let's leave. And then Marcus and Kevin step in, and they do full on like
break dancing
on their head, and their wigs stay on. I was like, that's not possible, I think.
And it's so urban.
Yeah.
Like it's just like it's because the music changes too. The music changes to like do rock around it's tricky, right? And you're just like, oh Jesus Christ! Like, could they pick any other song?
Oh God, jeez, crap.
Right?
And they win.
Yeah,
They're
they
like,
win. Right? They show them up.
Terry Crews is now tripping balls.
He's out on the dance
with
floor.
Glow sticks. It's a little
He's
funny.
shirtless.
Toot, 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 toot. Moving like a robot.
It is funny when he dances.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super funny because it's like the biggest man I've seen like since like I mean. It's one of those things where I wish like Arnold used to dance like this back in the day. If we had seen Arnold Schwarzenegger dance like this, it would have been just as funny. This is the equivalent nowadays, where it's like that guy's huge and he is doing the craziest dances. That's why it's funny.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's that. Then we flash over to the next morning. And Breckenmeyer and Terry Crews are in bed. And immediately it's like, oh my God, what have we done?
Sex.
Right? And you could kind of leave it alone there.
Yeah.
Right? But no. We go one step further because Breckenmeyer character is actually in a wheelchair, which harkens back to the, once you go black, you're in a wheelchair. So I'm like, oh my God, he actually did.
Destroyed his asshole.
Just let me tear that ass up.
God, ripped him a new
How's that
one.
ass feel? Yeah.
And then, like, his friends are like, hey, what happened to you last night? Like, why are you in a wheelchair? And then Terry Crews, like, is suddenly standing next to him and, like, grabs his shoulder and gives him a look. And he's like, I tripped. And it's just like.
Tripped and fell into some dick?
Yeah, right? I was like, no one is going to sit there and be like, oh, he just fell. They're going to be like, Terry Crews did something to his legs or butt. Like, Terry Crews is in on this one.
I grabbed Terry Crews' dong last night, and he was not feeling it. Sorry, I have to make topical jokes sometimes.
So, meanwhile, we flash to the girls, like the original girls, and they're like, "Oh my God, we're on page 6." Like, I guess that's the entertainment page.
Yes.
And they,
the actual girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they are really happy. Then they're like, "Wait, that's not us."
So
and
what have they been doing all weekend?
sitting in a hotel room,
What,
like
nursing
just
their
constantly
wounds?
applying Neosporin.
Okay.
So,
But they're like, this is another thing. In order to accomplish this, Marcus and Marcus and Kevin have to go undercover as them. But
Yeah.
that also means that nobody's watching them.
yeah, the girls are just free to be.
Yeah. So if the girls wanted to say, I don't know, show up at Southampton, what's to stop them? Because that's what they do.
Yeah, they roll
Right?
up.
Awesome detective work, guys.
And then as they roll up, the two agents are like, "Come with us," and they take them to the chief. And they're like, "These are girls." They do the whole bit of like pulling on hair and saying it's a wig when it's actually their hair. One of them
full
straight
on
up
sexual harassment.
sexual harassment, exposes one of the girls' boobs. Then the other one just rips her skirt and underwear down and
Right.
exposes her vagina.
Right?
And then the chief is like, "No, you're suspended." Instead of being like, like comic stuff, it's like, no, consequences, real life consequences.
Right? That's why I appreciate the chief.
Yeah.
Right? But because of this,
It exposes.
it also exposes
Yeah.
Marcus and Kevin, which the chief goes to their room and is like, you guys are fired.
Yeah.
Right? And so Kevin and Marcus are driving along, and you would think that this is the moment in the movie where they kind of like blame each other and break up as like friends and
They
partners.
do for like 2 seconds
In the
It's
car
like, you are the
together.
bad things.
Right?
Follow along.
Instead of like having that moment of like everybody hurts,
a sad music montage.
right? They're immediately just driving along and being like, "Man, this was your idea," and he's like, "Yeah, well now I have another idea."
And he's like, "Well, I always got your back." And it's
Yep.
like, "Wait, you were just mad at him."
What? And what is their idea here?
To go back to continue to pretend to be the girls.
Right. Even
Yes.
though it's been revealed that the girls are on site
Well,
now.
see, I don't think they know that the girls are on site.
Really?
I don't think the captain told them that. I think he was just like, "Get out of here."
Well, how would he have figured it out? Get out of here. We've been watching cameras all
Yeah.
weekend.
Maybe they're like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" So,
Wanted to see how far you guys would go.
so they roll back up at the white party, the fashion show. And the real girls also roll up. So there's these comic bits of the girls like going out on stage, going backstage, and then immediately the girls come back out. They don't look anything alike. I think they're different heights as well. And it's everyone's like, "How'd they do that? How'd they change so quick? What's happening? Whoa!"
This is that suspended believability until we need you not
Right.
to.
Jeez.
So yeah, only time it starts getting revealed that like people are like, "What is wait a minute," is when whichever brother is dressed like whichever girl, that girl walks out on stage with that brother.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Oh my, that's the same person," and I'm like,
But it's not.
It's so not.
So the mean girls, the mean Vandergelds, also do this trick where they switch out the dresses to make this like Bjork reference
This is pointless.
of a swan dress.
This whole part is pointless.
Yeah, and then the girls also go up onto
Because
the
they're
catwalks.
not important.
Yeah,
As enemies,
I
even,
know.
or villains. They're not important. Because they're not the villain. They're just like an obstacle
Yeah.
in this movie. And this drives it home. Because this is a Carrie reference.
yeah. Well, okay, so the Vandergelds go up on the catwalks with some red paint. The two brothers, Marcus and Kevin, go out in their ugly swan dress. They're like have all the girls behind them. They're like, "Let's get out of here." They're laughing at us. For some reason, they care.
I don't understand why people are laughing at this outfit. Like, Bjork did do this outfit. Like,
They could just be like, "Oh, it's a reference."
And look at all the other trash bullshit
Yeah.
that's coming out on stage. Like,
Right.
if somebody in a real fashion show walked out on this swan, I'm pretty sure the rest of the audience would know no different. They'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, that one was weird, but I'm not going to
Yeah.
laugh at it.
So so
derelict.
the two, oh god, Zoolander 2, that's gonna come up someday.
No,
it
never
through.
will. I'm not gonna.
Good, thank you.
I'm not gonna sit anybody through that piece of shit.
I couldn't even get through it myself.
I love the first one though.
The first one's hilarious.
Yeah.
Man. Bob. So we've moved on from Beetlejuice.
Oh, you still said it.
I know. Well, I also did
zilch,
zero, nada. I said it earlier, but you didn't hear.
No? Oh, okay. Damn, because I was thinking it too, like in that one moment where I was like, oh my god, we've moved past it.
No, we haven't.
No.
We never will.
Never.
So they start to run, like a necklace breaks, like there are models flying off the runway this way and that. Into tables in the crowd, and then Busy Phillips is like, oh, the girls are up there on the catwalk, time to teach them a lesson. And the two girls flip off the catwalk, they land, and then the paint buckets fall on them, and they're covered in red paint, and they're like, no, let's get out of here, and they run backstage. Meanwhile, the two sisters come on stage, and they're like, what's going on? There's 4 of us. And then the dad of the Vandergelds is like, hit the fireworks show with the Chinese dragon.
Mind you, in a scene we skipped, it is revealed that one of the Vandergeld's boyfriend is in on whatever this plot to kidnap the Wilson sisters.
The kidnapping plot doesn't really matter.
Not at all, because I
was like, I'm not gonna. I'm like,
what is John Hurd's Mr. Vandergeld's plan? It's to kidnap them and then hold them hostage, but his original plan was to kidnap them, like without being found out.
I don't know. It doesn't really make sense because it was shoehorned in there.
Yeah, because
this is a plot device in this film.
Well, this is a movie where the plot doesn't really exist.
Yeah,
it's just all excuses to do all these racist, sexist, stupid costume change jokes.
Yeah,
it's a shoehorned plot, like just to justify why these guys are in drag.
Yeah. And whiteface drag. So then, this Chinese dragon comes out, dances around him, and they're like, "Whoa, where'd the others go?" And like, one of the boys is left, and one of the girls is left.
But that means that's part of his plan. The Chinese dragon is part of your plan,
which doesn't also fit into any of the fashion show. It doesn't fit into the white party. He just had it. It was like,
bring on the dragon.
Yeah. So they notice that like the girls are under the dragon.
He calls it in on the radio, like, bring out the dragon.
And like Marcus tackles the dragon, and then this fight ensues between the Vanderbilt
people inside
boyfriend.
the dragon aren't in on it. They think they're doing a dragon show.
Well, the inside the dragon is the Vanderbilt boyfriend and the guy that was butthurt.
Are there more than... Because that's one of those...
Well, yeah, there were other ones, but those two were in the dragon, just to make sure. So then, like, they have a fight out with them, and then the
Which means that they rehearsed said dragon performance?
Yeah, they did.
Somewhere they're like, come on, guys, get it together. 1, 2, step 3, 4.
Right, left. You're
God,
slow. You're slow. The dragon is sagging.
You're fucking it up. How am I ever supposed to kidnap someone?
Why is the dragon's ass so flat?
What? What'd you say? I said nothing about kidnapping.
So then, like they have this like fight shootout with the boyfriend and boyfriend friend, and the girls are kidnapped by the Vandergeld and taken backstage.
John Hurd, kidnaps. So the father Vandergeld kidnaps Marcus as the girl.
Yeah.
And one of the actual girls.
Well, no, they were kidnapped in the dragon, but then they figured out and they tackle the dragon, and he kidnaps both of the real girls.
Yes. I thought okay. Yeah. This is where it gets weird.
Right. This is where it gets confusing. But so then also,
I feel like
this
happens to me a lot in movies. Is like by the last 15 minutes where I can feel we're at our last 15. Somewhere I'm like kind of half checked out. Where I'm like kind of excited, like exhausted, but I'm like, we only have 15 more minutes. Here we go.
So then we also get Marcus's wife and her friend that are like, oh shit, these girls are really strong, calling for backup. And it's like racial stereotype of African American names thrown in there. And then she's like, call Latrice, Laquanda, Michelle. They just throw out names that are stereotyped names.
Yeah.
And it's an overused gag.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get so they're all backstage.
Mm-hmm.
John Hurd has a gun. Yeah.
Is it backstage? I thought they were just in,
It's in,
like
the
the
changing
dining
area.
room or whatever. I don't
No,
even
it's the changing
know.
area for the fashion show.
Yeah.
So then, like, miraculously, everyone shows up. The reporter's there with her cameraman.
Who's dead now?
Yeah, he gets shot from John Hurd, but
I mean,
Marcus...
he clearly he got shot,
Yeah.
right? Because how many bullets does John Hurd actually fire somehow simultaneously?
John Hurd gets shot, the reporter gets shot, and then Terry Crews gets shot.
Yeah, because Terry Crews dives to save Marcus,
No, he does. Yes, Kevin dives to save the
the
reporter.
reporter, right? And then who shoots John Hurd?
I think Marcus.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
maybe.
But
I
either
don't
way,
know.
bullets are flying
Yeah,
in this moment.
and then
But that cameraman's clearly dead.
Yeah.
Like, nobody checks on him. Like, the reporter gets saved, but the bullet definitely, like, because you hear, like, a glass break, like, it hit the camera, and, like, that guy just goes down, you know, as
then-
everybody else, like, dives.
John Hurd gets captured. Then we have our big reveal to everyone. So Kevin is like, "Hey, I'm actually an FBI agent, not the basketball player. Sorry."
Right.
And then for Terry Crews, Marcus reveals himself, and Terry Crews is then like racist against black people.
Oh, my
'cause
God,
he's like,
this is so weird.
He's like, "I can't believe you wouldn't tell me." And then he's like, "Yeah, then I'm a dude." And he's like, "No, that you're black. This is an all-white party. Get the memo." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's a bit terrible."
That's weird because
Yeah.
you're not white.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
also why I'm like, maybe he's
like, "Get
into-
this Negro out of here." I was like, what?
like,
He's a self-hating racist.
I was like, this is a weird movie.
That was so weird. Unnecessarily
Yeah.
weird.
And then at the same time, Marcus reveals himself to his wife and is like,
Clayton Bixby.
Oh, God. He reveals himself to his wife and is like, "Sorry, I love the job a lot, but I need to love you more. I love whenever you get your hair done," which she uses as an example earlier. And then his one thing that she didn't use as an example. And he's like, "And I love when you wear this kind of perfume." And she's like, "Okay, our marriage is fixed." Like,
Right? And even her friend's like, really? And she's like,
Yeah.
yeah, shut up. Yeah.
And then, so the reporter's like, "We'll see." Like, I don't even remember what the reporter says, but she somehow forgives him. She's like, "Well, you..."
Some about
Yeah.
basically you tried to take a bullet for me,
Yeah.
right?
She's like, "That
And
makes up for the lies."
That makes up for all the lies,
It's terrible.
right? So basically those two are going to have to reestablish themselves from like scratch. She
Yeah.
doesn't even know his real name, you know?
And then Terry Crews is seen leaving with the two real sisters, and
Right.
he's having a blast.
Yep.
You're
You're going to need a wheelchair tonight, bitches.
Yeah. I
Right?
guess he's having a three-way. And then, like, the friends
I'm
come
going to need a
up.
double stroller for you two.
And this is our, like, final moment in the movie. The friends come up, and they're like, "So, you're FBI agents?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're really sorry." And they were like, "That's a bummer." And they're like, "We know, we lied to you. Like, our And they're like, "No, like, you were more fun than the actual girls." And they're like, "Oh." And they're like, "Does this mean, like, we can't?" And they're like, "No, it does mean we can still go." And then they're like, "Shopping!" And then it ends.
It's just
Like,
oh god.
Yeah.
Because that's this whole movie.
yeah.
Is it's grown worthy.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're on to the
Exhausting.
W's. Here we go.
If you and your friends used to watch this together, like growing up, it was like, let's put this movie on because we
I
know
feel
all the lines.
sorry for you.
Yeah, but like this is, I know people that this is their movie for them. like,
Clearly, this was voted number one.
for me and my friends, it was Scary Movie 3. We're like, we know it's not great, but like we know all of the lines
Sure.
from it. So this is one for them, for those people.
We had a lot of content on this one. This is almost 2 hours long. Sorry, guys.
I'd skip it.
Yeah.
I'd skip half
Yeah,
of it at least.
That's
I'd skip the movie.
my W's are like this is on Netflix, obviously, like
Yeah.
for Netflix November. If you are a person like myself who can't sleep unless the TV's on, well, I can, but
Yeah.
you know, a lot of times, then just type this in and hit play and go to sleep.
Yep.
That's all I got, because like I hadn't seen this movie until we watched it here, and I don't feel any better about it. Like there's a lot of movies where I'm like, I love that we did this,
Yeah.
and this is like
not one of those.
No, it was more of a chore.
I think I like movies going in whenever I don't know them.
Yeah. Yeah, I normally do. This wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because, like, I knew, like, just looking at them on the DVD cover box back in the day, I was like, this is
Terrible.
awful.
Bad angle, stupid makeup.
Yep. So that's it. Watch it when you go to bed. So just make sure that you hit that like, comment, review section that we always talk about. You can follow us at Bombs Away Show, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Give us a follow. Search for Bombs Away Slumber Party Massacre on YouTube. Go ahead and check that out. Yeah, that's where we do a DVD comedy commentary for the movie. Check that out and make sure, please hit subscribe on that. We need subscribers so that we can make it easier for future people to find our YouTube page. We need 100. We're hitting a goal of 100 people to subscribe on our YouTube. So go ahead and maybe share that episode on your Facebook and ask people to subscribe for us. Help us out. Help this show grow. That's our whole thing. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes and Google Play. If you're hearing this on, say, I don't know, Stitcher or anything like that. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or shout-outs that you want us to do on our Shorties episode, just write us. Contact at bombsawayshow.com. Other than that, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Jarrett.
And hasta luego, Montenegro. Hey guys, John here from the Bombs Away podcast, and I'm here to talk to you about what we always wind up talking to you about, the Frida Cinema. But there's a reason. It's not only our home, but it's an amazing venue. Now, I know what you're asking. What is the Frida Cinema? Well, it's a program of the Long Beach Cinematheque here in California, and it serves Santa Ana and neighboring communities as a non-profit art house cinema dedicated to enriching, connecting, and educating communities through the art of cinema. Now, how does it do that? Well, I'll tell you. It has amazing directors series such as Martin Scorsese or Mel Brooks. Oh my God, when's the last time you saw a Mel Brooks movie on the big screen? Young Frankenstein, High Anxiety, Blazing Saddles? There's so much. Or what about Lloyd Kaufman, which has amazing films that we'll be doing on this podcast, such as Toxic Avenger or Class of Nukem High? Or how about Friday Night Freakouts presented by OC Weekly? That is something that we do here every Friday night. And we're talking about crazy sci-fi or horror or just off-the-wall things such as the 70s musical, The Apple, or how about Hackers or Lost Boys or Child's Play? These are the kind of movies that screen here. And what if those aren't your thing? What about anime? Well, we have the huge hit Your Name that just came out. Or what about the classic Akira? Yes, Akira was screened here with subtitles or without subtitles, your choice. What about if anime's not your thing? How about double features such as Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead? And you can't really be an art house cinema without getting those kind of indie feature films such as Moonlight, which was Academy Award winner, best film. Right here, before it was even nominated. It was right here. Or what about The Void, which is on Netflix? Or just amazing cinema, and it's all right here. For more information about the Frida, showtimes, location, everything film and entertainment, go to thefridacinema.org. Or follow them on Facebook at facebook.com, The Frida Cinema. Or on Instagram and Twitter at The Frida Cinema. The Frida Cinema. It's for the filmmakers. It's for the film goers. It's for you.
This has been a production of Big Bulb Entertainment, executive produced by Jonathan Young. For more media and information, visit us at www.bigbulbentertainment.com. Big Bulb, what's your bright idea?